Welcome back, viewers. In today's video, we are going to do the installation of Debian desktop using the net install ISO. So I have already downloaded the net install ISO. Let us start. Use the Debian 11 template. Do the settings as shown. So now this is the menu of your net installer. So you can see here install with speech synthesis, there is a help, there are advanced options, and there is an install button. So let us check out the advanced options. So here also you got the expert install, rescue mode, automated install, the speech enabled advanced options are available. So if you remember how we did the expert install and the automated install in Debian, so I think all those same methods are available here also. So first what we will do is let us use the simple install method. That will be a graphical install. So here you can see this install method is, I think, using the TUI or the ncurses library or the ncurses installer to install. Let us see. So you have to first choose the language, choose your country, and there are some options for some Indian languages, but English India is not there. So what we will do is we will stick with the American English. So this is this ncurses installer. Okay, so now the hostname here, it is Devuan instead of Debian. So the Devuan developers have done some configuration to this installer. So instead of Debian, it is offering the Devuan name as the host name. So we will continue with it. So domain name we will keep empty. So it is just like Debian, only instead of Debian there is a Devuan names given. So let us have the root user. Again you have to verify the root password, name of user, confirm, user password, again confirm it. So it just follows how we did in Debian. So nothing is changed except the names. Now here also you are offered the guided use entire disk, guided use entire disk and set LVM, guided use entire disk and set encrypted LVM. So this time let us go with the manual installation. So there is guided partitioning, there is configure ISCI volumes option. So how to do, you can choose for yourself. We will of course go with the guided partitioning. So we will use the guided use entire disk. Again it is same options are given, so we will stick with manual, and then we will use the virtual hard disk. Create an empty partition, we have to say yes. So here there are some options: configure encrypted volumes, configure logical volume manager, configure software RAID, configure ISCI volumes, guided partitioning. So what we will do is, let us use the free space first. You will just enter on the free space, create a new partition, or you can automatically partition the free space. You can show the cylinder head and sector information. So let us first create the new partition. We will use around 0.5 GB of partition space. So let it be primary. Location at the beginning. Use as extended journaling volume system. Let us go with FAT32. Then mount point should be we can go with DOS or Windows. We can go with DOS also, Windows. We can let us go with DOS partition. Mount options default, bootable flag. Yes, bootable flag is on. Done setting up the partition. So basically you are creating the MS-DOS partitions. Now in the remaining free space, you can let us see if the EFI partition is available. So what we will do is we will just go ahead. Let us see if the EFI is no. So EFI is not there. So either we go with extended 4 or we can extended 3 to Btrfs, and we stick with the FAT32. So we will stick with FAT32 only. So we will just go back, use the yes, now we are coming to back. Okay, done setting up the partition. Now again select the free space, create a new partition, let it be around 2.5 GB. 2 GB is also good. Create a primary partitions, or you can use an extended one. Beginning, use as a swap area. Done setting up the partition. Finally 24.3 GB you have to use completely. You can create another primary. Normally you should not create too many primary. I think 3 or 4 partitions are allowed. Use extended 4. Let us go with Btrfs this time. So you try to do differently every time. Mount point will be root. Mount options, there are different mount options also, so you can choose any one or multiple of them. So that we will do in another video, how the options will affect the performance of the system sometime later. Bootable flag is off. Label you can use as system or anything, you can give the label. We will not give any label, let it be root only. So system will recognize that as root automatically. So you have got a FAT32 boot partition, a swap partition, and a root partition. So now you have to finish partitioning and write the changes to the disk. So it is showing us the summary. So we have to accept the changes and write the changes to the disk. And now the installation of core packages has also started. So it's quite fast, I think. Okay, so now it is asking us whether we want to scan for extra installation media. We will say no. Debian archive mirror, so debian.org. Yes, we will use this option instead of the package master debian.org. Both we can use, so we will keep with the Debian. It's taking a bit longer than the Debian installer to scan the mirrors. Okay, so there is this option to get involved in the popularity contest. So we can say yes to the package survey. Now the task will start and we have to select the desktop for installation. So the Devuan Netinstaller is offering the following desktops: XFCE, Mate, Cinnamon is there, KDE is there, LXQT is there, GNOME Flashback is there, web server, console productivity, then your SHS server and the standard system utility. So how to do and what to do? So XFCE is the default one. So we have already seen, I think, the XFCE earlier. So we will not use XFCE. We will use some other desktop. Let us go with GNOME is not there. So we can go with KDE. Yes, we should go with KDE Desktop. And there are some other options also like web server, console productivity, SSH server. So we will not go with this web server or SSH server. We will go with the console productivity option. And standard system utilities, we have to anyway, it is not changeable. It is default. First option and the last option is we should always keep that. And then we have to use the tab button to go over to the continue and hit enter. So we will install the KDE desktop along with console productivity and the standard system utilities and the base Debian desktop environment. And now we have to just wait for the installation to complete. There will be some user prompts that will require action. Other than that, most of it is automated just like in Debian. Okay, so now the installation is almost complete, and now you have to select between the different init systems that are available in the Debian. So system init is the original sys init is the original system v init, the standard and the recommended choice. If you don't know what all this is about, you can just select system init below. OpenRC is a dependency based service and a run level management system. Note that the OpenRC still uses system init for the sbin init, that is the PID one. Using the sbin OpenRC dash init, it is still experimental and requires additional manual configuration, and the run it is there. So it is an alternative implementation which provides the sbin init that is PID one, as well as service and run level management. So I think we should go with the system init. So we are almost now completed the installation. So these are the final configuration steps for the Init system, and I think the bootloader will be installed. Because in Debian the bootloader is installed at the last, let us see. Here also it should offer us to install the bootloader in some place in the hard disk. Yes, so now it is installing the grub bootloader. Some 2-3 files are to be retrieved and installed. So it is going to install the grub 2, that is the advanced grub bootloader. Install the grub bootloader to your primary drive. Yes, you have to select the device manually. Setting up the users and passwords. Grub configuration was also upgraded. Now the virtualization components, that is the KMU, is getting installed, and disabling the Netinstaller CD in the sources.list. Setting the hardware clock. So now even the hardware clock is installed, everything is done, and the installation is complete. We can continue. So I will stop the video here. Just hitting the continue will reboot the system. So I will stop the video here. See you in the next video, where we'll check out the KDE Desktop that was installed using the Netinstaller of Devuan Linux. Bye bye. See you in the next video.